Hey everyone, I'm your host, and let's be real, history can sometimes feel like a dusty old textbook. But trust me, US history, it's anything but boring. We're diving deep into the top 10 events that shaped America, from its rebellious beginnings to its spot on the world stage. Let's go! Our first stop takes us back to 1776, a year that screams revolution. 13 colonies, tired of British rule and its unreasonable taxes, decide they've had enough. They pen the ultimate breakup letter, the Declaration of Independence. This document, signed on a hot July 4th, was basically a giant mic drop to King George III. It declared that all men are created equal and have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Declaration of Independence wasn't just a bunch of fancy words on parchment, it was a call to arms. Winning independence was huge, but now the Founding Fathers faced an even bigger challenge: building a new nation from scratch. Enter the United States Constitution, ratified in 1787. This document, often called a living document because of its ability to be amended, established a government based on the separation of powers. We're talking the legislative branch to make laws, the executive branch to enforce them, and the judicial branch to interpret them. The Constitution also guaranteed certain basic rights to all citizens, like freedom of speech, religion, and the press. It provided a blueprint for a nation governed by laws, not by kings or dictators. The year is 1861, and America is on the brink of collapse. The issue? Slavery. The southern states, economically dependent on enslaved labor, clashed with the abolitionist North. This clash of ideologies ignited the Civil War, a brutal conflict that tore the nation apart. For 4 long years, brother fought brother, and the nation bled. Abraham Lincoln, the president who held the Union together, called for a new birth of freedom. The Civil War was a turning point in American history. It ended slavery, but the fight for racial equality was far from over. Hold on tight, because we're about to take off into the 20th century. In 1903, 2 brothers from Ohio, Wilbur and Orville Wright, achieved what many thought impossible sustained human flight. Their first flight at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina lasted a mere 12 seconds, but those precious seconds changed the world forever. The Wright brothers' invention, born from years of experimentation and a refusal to give up on their dream, ignited the age of aviation. The sky was no longer the limit. The Roaring Twenties, a time of jazz, flappers, and economic prosperity, came to a screeching halt in October 1929 with the stock market crash. This financial earthquake sent shockwaves throughout the world, plunging the United States into the Great Depression. The unemployment rate skyrocketed, businesses crumbled, and families struggled to survive. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's New Deal programs provided relief, recovery, and reform, fundamentally changing the role of government in American life. December 7, 1941, a date etched in American memory. The surprise attack on Pearl Harbor by Japan thrust the United States into World War II. The images of burning battleships and the loss of American lives shocked the nation, uniting it against a common enemy. American soldiers fought on multiple fronts, from the beaches of Normandy to the islands of the Pacific. The United States emerged from the war as a global superpower, but the conflict's legacy continues to shape international relations today. The 1950s and 1960s witnessed a watershed moment in American history: the Civil Rights Movement. African Americans, led by visionary leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X, demanded an end to segregation and discrimination. From the Montgomery bus boycott to the March on Washington, courageous activists faced down fire hoses and police brutality, demanding equal rights and justice. The Civil Rights Movement led to landmark legislation including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. These acts outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, marking a major victory in the fight for equality. The struggle for civil rights continues today, as activists fight for social, economic, and criminal justice. July 20, 1969, the world watched in awe as American astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on the moon. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Armstrong's words echoed across the globe, marking a pivotal moment in human history. The Apollo 11 mission was the culmination of years of scientific research, technological innovation, and national determination. The moon landing wasn't just about national pride. It was about the power of human ambition, the pursuit of knowledge, and the belief that anything is possible. It inspired generations of scientists, engineers, and dreamers to reach for the stars. September 11, 2001, a day that forever changed the course of American history. The terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon shook the nation to its core, leaving a scar that remains to this day. The images of the collapsing towers, the stories of heroism and loss, and the sense of vulnerability left an indelible mark on the American psyche. The attacks led to the launch of the War on Terror, a global campaign against terrorism that continues to shape foreign policy and international relations. The 9/11 attacks also had a profound impact on American society, leading to increased security measures and a national conversation about security versus civil liberties. As the 21st century unfolds, the United States faces a new set of challenges, from globalization to climate change to the rise of new technologies. The COVID-19 pandemic, which swept the globe in 2020, tested the nation's resilience and exposed deep-seated social and economic inequalities. The pandemic led to widespread lockdowns, economic shutdowns, and a public health crisis that strained the healthcare system. The United States, like the rest of the world, is still grappling with the long-term consequences of the pandemic. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground, from revolution to space exploration, from economic hardship to the fight for equality. Each of these events in its own way has shaped the United States, contributing to the complex tapestry of its history. The lessons we learn from these pivotal moments can guide us as we face new challenges and strive to create a better future. So what do you think? Which event do you think was the most game-changing? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating journeys through history.